Hello everyone, we'll be doing a Spring 19 Quiz 10 question, and the question is, find omega and H field using any method given E direction x hat 3 cosine omega t plus 4y. Alright, so the method that we will be using is the three-step method. The first step is that E and H are in phase. The second step is that E direction is perpendicular to H direction, which is also perpendicular to K direction. And the third step is when eta equals E naught over H naught. Alright. So we know that E and H are in phase, and we know that E direction is perpendicular to H direction is perpendicular to K direction. And we'll go ahead and figure out our direction of our axis. We'll be using an X and Y axis. So to find the direction of our axis, we'll have X be our fingers. Again, we'll be using the right hand rule to determine the direction of X, Y, and Z. So X would be the direction of your fingers. Your Y would be the curl of fingers. And the Z direction will be your thumb, your right thumb. So when you do the right hand rule, make sure you put your fingers pointing to your X. When you curl your fingers, it's the direction of Y, which is going up, and your Z direction is pointing with your thumb, which would be pointing out. So we know that Z will be pointing out of the board. After we found our Z direction, we could go ahead and plot our E field given our parameters up here. So our E field, we know that it's in the positive X direction. So we go ahead and draw E field right here. We could do positive 3 in the X direction because it's the magnitude's 3. So go 3 over to the right. This is our E direction. And then we'll go ahead and plot our K direction. Our K direction is given by this term right here. So we know that our K direction is equal to negative 4y hat, because it's always opposite of this term right here. So if it's positive 4y in our phase, our K direction will be negative 4y hat. If this was negative 4y, our K direction will be positive 4y hat. So we'll go ahead and plot our K direction here. We'll be going negative 4 in the Y direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be K direction right here. So we know our E direction, we know our K direction. We can now find our H direction, or H field. So again, E and H are in phase, and we know that E is perpendicular to H field is also perpendicular to K. Using our right hand rule, we could determine the our H direction. So using our right hand rule, E would be our direction of our fingers, our pointing fingers. So say right fingers. K would be the direction of our thumb, our right thumb. And when you curl your fingers, it would be the direction of our H. So again, using the right hand rule, when you point your right fingers towards the direction of E. You cross will be the direction of H, and when you point down, it's the direction of K, which is your thumb. So doing the right hand rule, we know that H is also out of the board. Next, we'll go ahead and find our omega. We know that omega is given by C times K. We know that C is the speed of light, which is 3 times 10 to the 8th. And K is given by this term up here. We know our K direction is negative 4y. So to find the value of K, or magnitude of K, we would go ahead and say K is equal to 4 squared, which is also equal to just 4. So our magnitude K is 4. We go ahead and plug that in to our omega equation right here. We get omega equals 1.2 times 10 to the negative 9. Once we found our omega, we'll go ahead and do our last step here, step 3, which is when eta is equal to E naught over H naught. Since we are finding our H field, we go ahead and solve for H naught. So we have here H naught is equal to eta naught over, E naught over eta. And we know that eta is equal to 377 ohms because we're assuming this equation is in vacuum. And when it's in vacuum, eta is always equal to 377. So we go ahead and substitute E naught, which is 3, given up above. So 3 divided by 377 equals H naught, and H naught equals 0.008. After we found all our parameters, we could go ahead and write down our equation for our H field. We know that H field equals, again, our direction of H is coming out of the board, which is also in the positive Z direction. So positive Z hat. Our magnitude, which we found right here at 0.008 times 0.008. And then E and H are in phase, so we'll be using this same phase equation up there. Cosine. Our omega value is 1.2 times 10 to the negative 9. Don't forget the T. Omega again, put the T up there. Plus 4y. And our units will be amps over meter. And this will be your equation for our H field. Again, it's H field equals in the positive Z direction times 0.008 cosine 1.2 times 10 to the negative 9 T plus 4y amps over meters.